So go to quick access and then click that RIV. Just so you don't have to browse through every single folder in your game. I found that was a quick shortcut for me to use. Alright, so this is going to take a bit. So let's go into optionals. And then we have advanced motion blur, which I don't necessarily like, but you guys can just drag and drop this into your game directory if you wish. And then we have dynamic shadows from pedestrian vehicles. We can copy and paste or drag and drop these into our game folder here. So let's go to here. Drag and drop these into there. And then we have Earth's atmosphere. I don't install this, but you guys will click that RIV, install it how we did as in VisualV, and then drag and drop the atmosphere configuration file and ASI into your game directory as we just did for dynamic shadows. ENB settings we are going to be installing last. Procedural shadows, I'm going to be installing this as well. Let's see, let's click this, let's open that, technically speaking. So then we can go to our quick access in Windows and then find the file there. So this is a small little feature as well to make your game a bit more realistic. Alright. Next up is remove the grass dithering plus tree reflections. So this is also pretty cool here too. Let's double click this. We don't need to open it in any other program. This is just so you can have it in quick access as well, so you can find it a whole lot easier. Also guys, make sure when you're installing anything, make sure you're putting it into the mods folder. If it doesn't go into the mods folder, it's probably going to break your game. So just be aware of that. So ReShade we are going to be installing next as well. So now we can do ENB series, drag and drop all these files into your game directory. Alright. There we go. Replace anything if it says so. And that's it for this one. Now we can go to VisualV and then go back into optionals ENB settings. Alright, so now we can drag and drop these into our game directory, replace if it says so. Alright, so now we are going to learn how to install ReShade. Alright, so it's double click ReShade, open as administrator if it says so. Click here to select a game and its ReShade installation. Alright, so we are going to browse our computer. And then we are going to be going to, if you're on Steam, it's Program Files x86, and then it's Steam, and then Steam Apps, Common, and GTA 5, and then GTA 5 application. Now, if you use the Rockstar Retail version or Epic Games, be sure to refer to your local installation guide on how you can find your game directory. Now, I leave all these at default, but it's up to you. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to install it how it is. Okay, so just click on that. Don't change anything. Just click OK. Make sure all is selected. Alright, now, ReShade was successful to install. So now let's go back to VisualV, Optionals, and then ReShade Preset Settings. Preset. Now, I recommend that you guys install Recon LA, which is also a ReShade as well. And Recon LA is a bit better in my opinion, so just be aware of that. You can check out the preview tutorials on Recon LA on the GTA 5 mods website as well. I have a RTX 2060, so I should be able to run the ray tracing shader as well. So open that up. You don't need to edit it right now. So go to preset, go to your quick access, and click on Recon LA. Leave everything else the same. If you want to have a screenshot path, this is an option. This is optional. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is optional. Again, select a path there. I already use Steam as a screenshot path, so it doesn't really matter. It's just something extra if you don't want to use Steam or anything else. So click on skip tutorial. I think everything else is the same. If your PC is running a bit low or slow, click on performance mode. So you are done with reshade settings. Whichever you are running, I recommend, if you're a NVIDIA user, I recommend you play on Direct3D 10/11/12. Whatever your GTA 5 is set up to, it should be the same as this. Alright, so now, what is left to do? What is left to do? LA roads. Let's do LA roads next. So if you don't know what this does, simply it adds HD road textures to all roads in GTA 5. So it's going to take a bit for this to extract. That's okay. Let it do its thing. Click on the LA roads folder. Go to mods, update, x64 DLC packs. And then you should have a new folder after you install the grass fix from VisualV. So just drag this right into here. Alright, so once that is done, you're going to want to go to GTA 5, update, x64, data. Wait, what? Update, common data. Okay, I misclicked there. Okay. So now we can click show in mods folder. So it's going to be mods, update RPF, common data. Alright, so just click on DLC list XML and drag it into the LA roads folder. Alright, so now right click, open that up with Notepad or Notepad++, whatever suits your fancy. And then we are going to be adding a new item here called LA roads. So copy and paste the last settings. And then I'm going to copy and paste LA roads to ensure I have typed it correctly as well. There we go. Alright, so now LA roads is installed. Let's click out of this. Now we can go into our mods folder again and drag and drop the DLC list. Alright, so LA roads is done. Next up is going to be RADIANCE V. Let's install this as well. So this is going to be for police emergency vehicle lights. Alright, so go to visual settings. Now, you can use these settings. This is optional. This really depends on your PC setup, but I think the only thing is here, keep your post FX on high or very high or ultra. Keep it on high at the very least for your emergency lights. I don't think any other setting matters. So click on visual settings, and then choose your fancy. I'm going to click on very bright. Now in here, let's see here. Okay, so go to the same path. You should be on update RPF, common data. So drag and drop these two files into here. Alright, and then we are good to go. Now, if you don't use the settings for GTA 5, just be sure Post FX is on high in your graphical settings in the game. So, next up is going to be Corona Be Gone. Now, this is for vehicle illumination with the environment, and sometimes this also affects vehicle taillights, headlights, and then also for traffic, maybe traffic lights, light poles, anything that illuminates light. it gets rid of the big ugly blob around the object pretty much. So I'm going to recommend 25% faint. So there's still a bit of the corona, but there's a tiny bit left from what you can still see. So that's just my personal preference. You guys choose what you want to have for your game. I just like the option 25%. So let's go to Update RPF, X64, Textures, and Graphics.ytd. So now in here, look for Corona. You can also open this up real quick in Windows. Minimize that. Okay, so right click this, or click Replace on the top right. So click Replace in the top right as well. And then we should be good to go with this one. Make an exit out of this picture now. So we are going to be installing Flashlight Overhaul, and then also V, of course, and then the bright LED signs fix as well. So let's go install the Flashlight Overhaul first. All the links are in the description page in the video. So there's going to be two options, a first person texture and a third person texture. Now, I would pick the one that you play in the most. So let's go to OpenIV, go back into Graphics YTD in Update RPF X64 Textures. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Misclick. Graphics YTD, there we go. So now we need to search for torch. Alright, so let's replace this. Go to our recent and then click the torch file there. Alright. Okay, so now that that is done, let's go into here. Let's read the installation tutorial on this one here. So this is going to be for LSPDFR. If you don't play LSPDFR, you can skip this part. Now, if you haven't edited the files, feel free to continue on. If you did edit them, scroll down to the bottom to manually edit them. But this is my first time installing this as a video guide, so just keep that in mind. So the first step is to replace weapon components meta in the folder weapons components RPF. So let's go to update RPF, and then let's go to common data AI. Alright, so let's put this in here as well. So weapon components, let's see. So weapon components here, drag and drop that into there. See, it says compressed. That's how you know it has changed. So with that out of the way, we can go to the bright LED sign fix. So let's go into here. Let's click on the README. So this tells you all the locations in OpenIV. So it's all going to be in the X64E folder. So let's go down to the original one and then click to copy to mods folder. Alright, so this is going to take a bit to install. Alright, so once this is copying, we can now install Trainer V. So let's go to Trainer V. All you have to do is just drag and drop these files into your game. Okay, so once you get your GTA 5 directory open, you can drag and drop these two into GTA 5. So we are done with Trainer V for now. So let's go back into the bright LED sign fix. And then in here, we can go to levels, GTA 5 vehicles. So the first one is going to be the Airbus. So let's go and type Airbus as well. We can go to YTD. Let's see, nope, this isn't it. This is the one. Okay, so we can go to Airbus LED sign. Let's open that up in Windows. So it's in our recent. There we go. Let's just make sure nothing else is in here. Alright, so now next up is going to be Metrobus. Metrobus. So the way Metrobus is, all it is just bus. I don't know why it's like that, but it's how it is. So it's not plus HI YTD, it's just the normal YTD. Okay, so let's go into LED signs. We can open up the bus as well, the bus file. There we go. I should be good to go now. Alright, so now we need the metro train. So let's go change this as well. I keep clicking on the wrong YTD. That's my bad. Just the normal YTD. We don't need the HI. So let's open up the metro train sign file. And then let's see here. LED sign. That's what we need. We can copy and replace that. Now, last but not least, is a taxi. Now, if you install World of Variety, go into the WOV folder and copy the taxi sign file into there too. I'm not going to go into World of Variety in this video because this is meant to be a graphical overhaul tutorial. So all it is a simple IV as well. Not too hard to install. Let's see. Okay, so let's click on Taxi Signs 2 in the YTD. Taxi Signs 2. Let's replace it with the recent. There we go. And now for Taxi 2, we can open up the HI and then go to Detail 2. Let's see here. Detail 2. Alright, so we can open this up temporarily with Notepad. I just want it to be in the recent. So don't worry about the mess in Notepad. I just want Windows 10 to recognize it as a recent file, so I don't have to go through all of the extra files to get to the downloads. So, last but not least, game config. This is so important because if you want to install any custom relicles, any sounds, or anything, you will want to download this. So go to GTA 5 mods, update common data, and then in here you can replace your game config. I recommend using the stock GTA base, but you can pick your fancy.